Hi. In our last video, we have set up Claude Code for free with a free model. In today's video, we are going to see how we can effectively use Claude Code against a specific project. To get our skills a bit brushed up with Claude, I'm going to refer to an Anthropic course, which you can enroll in for free and get a certificate for that as well. Once we are done with that, in next videos, we are going to see how we can effectively use it in our project. So without further ado, let's move to the Cloud Coach. Okay, so this is the link within the anthropicskilljar.com. So you can go to Cloud Code in action, and over there you can start learning and get a certificate somewhat similar to the one I've got. We are going to use a specific project which I'll be showcasing you in the project. So let's just try opening. I've already opened that project. Prior to that, let me just quickly do one thing. I'm going to quickly show you how this project is going to work. Just give me a minute. So you can see, you can go to this link, and I have already completed that course. So, but you can start registering and complete that course. So with this being done, I'm going to quickly show you how we can effectively use this, and we'll be moving to the setup. We already have done the setup. So we are going to move towards the project setup. So you can see from here within the project setup, you can download this specific project which I'm going to refer to. So let's move to the project. So over here in the terminal, let me just run the commands which I need to run. So let me just run npm run setup. Let's just wait for a while, and then we can move further. So we have our npm run setup working. So let me just clear this up and quickly referring to what we are doing. So now we are going to run npm run dev. For some reason, it's not working. I need to get this sorted. Okay, so when I've downloaded the uh, code, it was basically somewhat targeting Mac OS. So let me just do some changes. Let me just, this was the previous one. This is the new code. I'm going to add it over here. I think something have been missed. So let me just add a comma over here. Only you can see the cross env variable have been, this attribute have been added. So let me just remove this. Let me just try running it again. Save it. Okay, so when we are trying to run this, not this one. Let me just do one thing. If I try to run this, you can see it's saying the node option is not recognized. So let me just remove this from here, and within the dev, only next dev turbo pack is going to be there. Let me just clear it up. Let me just run npm run dev, and you can see Let's see if it runs the app or not. Basically, this is the app which Anthropic has provided. So hopefully it's going to run in a while. So let's just quickly see. So what we have done so far, we tried running the app, and we need to first see the app is there, but we need to modify certain things within the app. First thing, let's just go to the this. Let me just add a new terminal, and you can see over here this project itself do not have any plot file. So let's just first do start Claude. You can see still those conflicts are there because we are not exactly using that model. We are using the free model. So let's just try running the init command over here, and then I'll be quickly explaining you what the init command is. Basically, it creates a new claude.md file. This is the baseline when you start working on a project along with Claude. So it's better to create a Claude file or initialize it, because it gives your model or the Claude model a context where you are, what needs to be done, and it do have all the context of your project. So let me just try running this, and in the meantime, let's let me just maximize this. And what it says, I'll analyze the source code and create a comprehensive Claude file. Let me start exploring the structure. So it's doing everything on its own. By the time it do this thing, let's just quickly see what does this init command do. It basically tells Claude to analyze your entire code base, a project, the purpose, architecture, every like any important commands or coding patterns being used. What else it do? Like it scans all your code base, then create a summary, write the summary to the plot file, and it's included in every request. So this is the reason like the Claude code to have a context of your project. Then comes the file, like actual file. I'm going to show you it in a while when it's going to get created. So what it does, it serves two purposes. One is like uh, through database pointing any important command or architecture. And second, it allows a specific custom direction. Let's say if we don't want to use specific libraries and if we want certain instructions to be followed, this is the file where we need to mention those. The third thing is like there are multiple type of Claude files which Claude Code support. The one which we are going to create is going to be a project level. It is going to be claude.md, but you can create a claude.local.md file which you are not going to share with any other person. If you are working along with certain other developers, you can keep this file as a personalized user base file. And one more thing is like uh, tilde Claude or Claude.md. This is basically a user level, or you can say a machine level file, which do have the Claude instructions for all the projects that are going to be created by Claude. Moving further, as I've already mentioned all these things, so let's just quickly see. And okay, so what does it say? Like you want to make this edit to let before moving further, let me just maximize this and see what it have done. It says it is going to analyze the code. I'll create the claude.md file. So it's asking me to like give him the permission, either yes or then yes, allow all edits. I personally prefer, when you are like learning AI and you are novice, so you should opt for this yes, because this way it will be keep asking you and you get an idea what things are going to get along the way. If you allow this one, so you won't get that much of an idea. So I personally prefer going with yes for all the things. And let's just expand this and give it some time what it's doing. So let me just scroll up. So I've so what it's doing, it's going to write over here in the Claude file, and it says I've created a Claude with comprehensive guidelines or documentation. It says these things have been like captured over here. So let's just open this Claude file, and let me just close this. You can see this Claude.md file. It's like provide a guidance, the project overview is there, and how the setup is being done, development related things are be there, and each and everything it have created on its own by just reading our project. So let's just move to the next thing. So this is something which Claude have done on its own, but there might be certain things which we are going to add on our own. So we can instruct the Claude to add certain memory or commands. So for this, what we need to do, we can use pound, and let me just copy this just to save typing. So what is the reason? The use command to enter memory mode. So let me just try pasting over here, and let me just enter this. So what it's going to do, let's quickly see. I have initialized the Claude Code .md, and then I'm just trying to add a comment. So what it's going to do, if I quickly go in the Claude and like just search this comment. So let me just see if it has done it over here or not. Let me do it once again. It should have used comment as well, and it should have built that memory as well. So it's asking like, let me just give it. And one more thing, when you are working with AI, so it's not very well planned in a sense. Like when we run a specific project, we do exactly know the steps. But when you are interacting with AI, it might provide different outputs. So you just need to be aware and keep looking at what it's doing. And what I am expecting over here, like it should have modified that. Let me just move up. Let me just try using pound one more time. Uh, let's see if it works or not. There could be a possible reason because I'm using a free model. There could be a specific schema related issue or anything else. So let's just see. Yeah, now it asks me to do the changes in the file. Let's see if it have done something. Yes, still it doesn't seem like use comments sparingly. I'm going to paste it again and see if it works or not. I'm going to close this altogether and let's see what happens. Let's just ask this model, have you added this instruction to plot.md? So let's see what it says, and then we're going to open the plot.md. So now I'm mentioning, and let's see if it edits or not. So you can see we are interacting with it, and it's just open that plot file. Let me just see comment. Okay, so it's still asking because you can see the actual file doesn't have this, so it's asking for the change. And let me just allow yes, and then I'm going to search for comment. So you can see what I have added using pond. So it's just added over here. So it added further description. I've just added a certain line and it added a certain more thing. So I have done that. So it says yes. So let me just close this again and I'm going to keep this maximized. So you can see we have initialized the Claude.md and we are able to add certain things. Well, for certain reason, it's not able to add it. Let's see what actually happens. Usually it does it, but let's see. There might be certain problem reading the file. So it's trying again. So let's see how it's going to do. And for those who are very new to this, like Claude Code is more of a CLI tool, and the actual brain we are using is a free brain, or I would say the model. Not brain is not the right word, but the model would be. So instructions and all these tokens are being pushed to that. So it says I have added that. If I can quickly go, you can see over here it's added that. So let's just move to other new things which we can learn over here. One more thing, apart from this memory which we can add, we can mention this at the rate. So let's just try pasting it over here, and if I use add, you can see I am able to use this auth related. And when I just type auth, so how does the auth system work? It just give me a list of files. I can ask any specific file, write it over here using the at the rate, and let's see how it responds. Now what I've narrowed the focus of Claude to this file, because if I would have asked certain things regarding the auth system without referring to this file, it might have gone to the whole project and might have tried to guess over here, over there. So now let's see what it does. The auth system, it starts with this file like lib, use JWT based session management, and then it's explore what are the core functions. Then it talks about the client server. I'm not going to into much detail regarding this because our focus is more towards usage of Claude Code rather than exploring this project. We will do it in the upcoming projects. And you can see the pattern, the environment, each and everything have been mentioned over here. So second thing which we have learned apart from init is or bound using the memory is at the rate. When we just move forward, so you can reference it within the Claude Code. So let's just do one thing. I'm going to say this over here to Claude. Let me just paste one thing. It just start doing one thing. You can see over here I have used at the rate, which was already part of this thing. If I try looking over here, I can quickly show you. So you can see over here, if it, this one, so you can see if I type at the rate, for some reason it's not picking it up. Let's just remove this. uh, Let me just, okay, so let's just see if it do have the context. Let's just add this to plot.md.2. Certain things you might be experiencing with this uh, free model, that it doesn't work exactly with similar to the models which have been like created and provided by Anthropic. But at least to get a feeler and just for free, without getting a pro subscription, this is something which we can ignore, or at least we can bear. So you can see within the code model, it's what it is added. So let's just go and see. If I see, like if I just go and scroll up, if I talk about Prisma over here, so you can see Prisma have been already included so in so many locations. And let me just move further and try, like, interrupt. You can if it's working something, like, let me just try doing this and then if I press escape, so it allows me to escape. So you can interrupt this using the escape button. And there are like a couple of other things which I'm going to show you. One is like, if the conversation is way too long, so let me just use the compact command. Let me just, so it's going to compact our conversation, because if the conversation is way too uh, verbose or comprehensive, you might not be able to pick everything up. So it's trying to compact the conversation. So let's just take it. It's going to take a while. In the meantime, let me quickly walk you through what does it do. It summarizes your entire conversation history while preserving the key information Claude has done. This is ideal when, like, use compact when Claude has learned a lot about the current task and you want to maintain that knowledge as it moves to the next related task. So this is the reason. Next, it is taking a while, so let's just see what failed to regenerate. Okay, let me just try doing one more time. Let's see what happens. You might land into certain these type of problems if you was just to start learning, but don't worry. At least you need to know how effectively you can use this AI agents in your development workflow, because in future most of the development will be done using these. So let's see how it's going to respond, and then we are going to modify certain other things or try running other commands. It's taking a while. It could be a reason that the free model being utilized. So let's just leave this, and we are going to use the clear. So clear is what is clear is going to do. It completely removes the conversation history, and it's more of a fresh start. So we are moving to some other, like, custom commands. Let's say you can see over here, I can write like clear or certain thing, but if I need to have certain command of my own, so what I can do, I can go to the main folder, project folder, and I need to create a Claude folder. And inside that, I'm going to create a directory which is going to call commands. So you can see the commands is there. And let's say just create an audit.md file, which Anthropic have told us to like use. So let's just create this MD file. So with this being done, let me just quickly pick the uh, thing. So your goal is to audit the packages. So I'm just trying to write it through the following. What I'm going to say, run, and I'm going to use tilde, and then over here npm audit, again tilde, and what I to find vulnerable packages. And the second thing is going to run, again tilde npm, and audit and fix to fix it. And what else? Run test and verify if there are certain tests, so we can run that, but we'll discuss in detail regarding the test. So run tests and verify. So I'm just writing it. So let me just save it, and we might need to restart Claude. At this point of time, this you can see audit is not showing up. So let me just exit using the exit command, and let me just clear it up. And we are again going to Claude, and this time when I type, you can see the audit command is there. So let's just try running this audit command. And as expected, what it should do, it's going to run npm audit. As you see that it's asking to proceed because there are certain elements it's going to perform. Under the hood, the Claude Code is using different utilities like reading or for reading or writing the file. So similarly, this npm audit itself is a command. So it's going to run. So it requires our approval. Again, I'm going to say yes. So let me just enter yes. And you can see the audit report shows something. So now it's going to run the npm audit fix for us, which we have provided. So again, it asks for the permission, which I've given, and you can see we are moving further with the npm audit fix, which is going to get run. By the time it will take this, let's just move further. And our next topic is MCP server, but before proceeding to that, let's just focus this. What it's going to do, you can see over here the audit is running and it's going to retry. So the regular reduce vulnerability from 14 to 4. So it's again trying to read and it might be updating the file. It's again going to run test. So let's see npm run test, what it's going to do. Let's see what is going to happen. It's taking a while and I hope it's worthy for you if you are watching till here. So this way you are able to learn certain things which we'll be using in our upcoming projects. So let's just keep moving. Okay, so all this have been run using a command which we have already created. So still I can see and again run this command. So this way, whatever repetitive things you are doing, you can create a command for that and you can run as per your need. Now we are moving to the MCP server. What does MCP server means? Basically, MCP model context protocol servers are systems that expose tool, data, or function in a structured way so AI model can use them. So if I talk about an AI model, what it does, it like accept a text and try reasoning based on the data it have already learned, and it do provide a response, but it doesn't have any data of your application, or any data related to your application or any external tool. So for that, it needs a bridge that lets its AI model to interact with the real world system. So this way it can interact with the API, database, and services. So if I say without MCP, AI only knows what it was trained on. But with MCP server, AI can do things like fetch data, trigger action, and query system. Hope this clarifies. So now what we are now going to do with the Claude Code, we are going to add a MCP server. So let's just try installing. For that, what we need to do, we need to exit this Claude, and the command that we have with us. Before running this command, let me just clear this. And I think, okay, so it's already exists on my system because I've already run that command. But what it does, like Claude adds an MCP server of Playwright. What does Playwright do? Basically, Playwright itself open a browser and perform certain things. So I'm not going to much into much detail regarding the Playwright, but you can add any other MCP server. There are several other MCP servers which you can use, but this way we have added this and we have named this Playwright. And so this starts the server locally on our machine. So under the hood, so this is something which we can run. We are not going into much detail because we aren't deploying it on any remote server or something. So I'm not going to that much detail at this point of time. Further, I'm going to move to hooks. So how come the hooks, or what does hook exist? Let's say if you're going to read a specific file, let's say your environment variable have an anthropic API key. What does a Claude Code do? It comes to your system and it start reading all the file. But I don't want the Anthropic or Claude Code to read this key. So using these hooks, the pre tool use or the post tool use, I can restrict our like Anthropic Claude Code to not read this file. So let's see if I can quickly show you. So you can see what code is written in the main file, then Claude Code, what code is written in the main file go, what it does, Claude reads the file, then this hook runs, and then Claude Code reads the file, and then this runs. So if I can see, so rather than referring to this, I can quickly refer to the hook. If I can, over here within this Anthropic code, you can see we can define certain hooks. Let me just try reloading if it reloads or not. Taking a while. Okay, so it's taking a while. So I'm keeping it till here. Hopefully we have learned how we can like use this freely available model along with Claude Code to use certain commands. There are certain restrictions which we can't do with this model, and like pasting an image and directing the Anthropic Cloud Code to do that. So certain limitations are there, but at least from a learning perspective, this suffice. So I'm hopeful that you have learned. Just give me a minute. Let me just close this. Close this. Okay, so I'm hopeful that you have learned so far and you are able to grasp how Cloud Code is going to work. In our future videos, what I'm going to do, I'll be resuming our previous project, which was an e-commerce application, And previously we were doing manually, and now we are going to use our AI coding tool to assist us in creating new applications. So if you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.